Camille Claudel, a name whispered with awe and with sorrow. Camille Claudel, a name that would echo through the annals of art history, was born into a world that was not quite ready for her brilliance. She was born in France, a country rich in culture and history, a place where art and beauty were deeply revered. The year was 1864. Her family was comfortable, living a life of relative ease and privilege. They lived in a small town, Vert-en-Tardenois, a place where everyone knew each other and traditions ran deep. Even as a child, Camille was different. She had a unique spark, a fire that set her apart from her peers. She possessed a will of iron, a determination that was unyielding, a spirit that burned bright, illuminating her path even in the face of societal expectations. Society had expectations for young women. They were to be demure, obedient, and follow a prescribed path. Camille did not fit them. She was a square peg in a round hole, always standing out in a crowd. She was destined for something more, something greater than the ordinary life laid out for her. Her hands found solace in the earth. In the cool, damp clay, she discovered her true calling. In the cool, damp clay, she found a medium through which she could express her innermost thoughts and emotions. She saw forms, faces, stories hidden in the stones. Each piece of clay held a world of possibilities. She had to bring them out. It was as if the clay spoke to her, revealing secrets that only she could uncover. This was not a choice, it was a need, a compulsion that drove her to create, to mold, to shape. Her father, Louis Prosper, saw the spark. He recognized the extraordinary talent in his daughter. He encouraged her unique gift. He nurtured her passion, providing her with the support she needed to pursue her dreams. But her mother, Louise, was different. She did not understand. Camille did not care. She sculpted. She poured her heart and soul into her art, defying the expectations placed upon her. Paris. The name itself was a promise, a dream. Camille arrived with her mother, her younger sister, her brother Paul. The city pulsed with life, with art, with possibility. She was young, eager, ready to conquer, but Paris was also daunting, a vast, indifferent ocean for a young woman, an aspiring sculptress. The challenges were immense, yet her spirit was undaunted, her hopes soared. This was where she belonged. She felt it in her bones, in her restless hands. She found her way to the Académie Colarossi, a rare sanctuary. It opened its doors to women. Alfred Boucher made a request. He asked Auguste Rodin, the renowned sculptor, to look after his students, his talented group of young women. The name Rodin echoed. Through the art world, he was a giant, a colossus of clay and bronze. His reputation preceded him, a man of immense talent and immense power. The young women were nervous, excited. Camille, perhaps more than most, she knew his work. She felt its pull, its raw, earthy energy. Their first meeting, it was a collision of sorts. Camille, 19 years old, her eyes blazing with ambition, her spirit untamed. Rodin, 43, at the height of his fame, his gaze intense, searching. He saw her sculptures. Their connection deepened. It was more than art. Though art was its language, they inspired each other, pushed each other to new heights of expression. Camille posed for him. Her body, her face, became part of his masterpieces. He guided her hand, shared his secrets, but she was no mere vessel. Their sculptures began to thrum. With a shared passion, a shared intensity, a dialogue in clay and bronze between two powerful artistic souls, a dangerous, beautiful dance. The emotional bond grew stronger, fiercer. It spilled over the boundaries of the studio. It became a love affair, deep, consuming, all-encompassing. It was a secret love, hidden from the prying eyes of Paris. Rodin was not free. Years passed. The passage of time, relentless and unyielding, saw the world around them change. But their relationship remained a constant, albeit a turbulent one. Each tick of the clock, each turn of the calendar page marked moments of joy and sorrow, of hope and despair. Their love affair blazed, a passionate fire. It was an all-consuming flame that brought warmth and light into their lives, but also threatened to burn everything in its path. Their moments together were intense, filled with an ardor that seemed almost otherworldly, but also a destructive one. The intensity of their emotions often led to fierce arguments and misunderstandings, leaving behind scars that were slow to heal. The fire that once united them began to show its darker side, revealing cracks in the facade of their seemingly perfect love. It was tumultuous, full of highs and devastating lows. Camille yearned for more. She longed for stability, for a commitment that went beyond the fleeting moments of passion. She wanted a future that was as solid and enduring as the sculptures they created. She wanted all of him, every part of his being, his heart, his soul. She desired a love that was not divided, a love that was wholly hers. Camille's dreams were filled with visions of a life where they were inseparable, where their love was acknowledged and celebrated. She dreamed of marriage, of being his wife, his acknowledged partner in life and in art. She imagined a union that was both personal and professional, where their creative energies would merge to produce masterpieces that would stand the test of time. But Rodin remained tied to Rose Bure. His loyalty to Rose was unwavering, a bond that Camille found difficult to break. Despite his feelings for Camille, Rodin's sense of duty and obligation to Rose kept him from fully committing to the woman he truly loved. He would not or could not leave her. This indecision, this inability to choose, left Camille in a state of perpetual limbo. She was caught between hope and despair, between the promise of a future with Rodin and the harsh reality of his existing commitments. This refusal became a constant ache, a wound that festered deep within Camille's heart. It was a pain that she carried with her every day, a reminder of the love that could never be fully realized. The letters and photographs that once brought joy now served as painful mementos of what was lost. He made promises, whispered words of a future together. In the quiet moments away from the prying eyes of society, Rodin spoke of dreams and plans that filled Camille with hope. But these promises were like fragile bubbles, beautiful yet easily burst. But those promises remained unfulfilled. Each unkept promise was like a shard of glass cutting deep into Camille's soul. The broken mirror reflected not just her forlorn expression, but the shattered dreams that lay behind it. Dreams shattered one by one. The future she had envisioned with Rodin crumbled before her eyes, leaving behind a trail of broken hopes and torn memories. Each photograph, each memento became a symbol of what could have been. Her frustration grew into bitterness, into resentment. The love that once brought her joy now became a source of pain and anger. Camille's heart, once filled with hope, now harbored a growing sense of betrayal and disillusionment. Society judged her harshly, a young woman entangled with an older, committed man. The whispers and gossip followed her everywhere, casting a shadow over her reputation. The headlines in the newspapers painted her as a scandalous figure, a woman who dared to defy societal norms. The whispers followed her in the salons, in the studios. No matter where she went, the judgmental eyes and hushed conversations were never far behind. The art world, which should have been her sanctuary, became another arena where she was scrutinized and criticized. She felt the sting of their scorn, the hypocrisy. The very people who praised her talent were the same ones who condemned her personal life. The double standards of society weighed heavily on her, adding to her sense of isolation and despair. It isolated her, pushed her further into the shadows of their clandestine love. Camille found herself retreating from the world, seeking solace in the darkness where she could escape the relentless judgment and find some semblance of peace. Her art became a battleground, a testament to her inner turmoil, the waltz. Each piece she created was a reflection of her emotional state, a way to channel her pain and frustration into something tangible. Her sculptures spoke of love, loss, and the struggle to find meaning in a world that seemed determined to misunderstand her. Two figures, entwined in a dance of dizzying passion and desperate clinging. The waltz captured the essence of her relationship with Rodin, a dance that was both beautiful and tragic. It was a visual representation of their love, a love that was as intense as it was fleeting. Was it love, or a struggle for survival? The line between the two became increasingly blurred as their relationship progressed. What once felt like a romantic adventure now seemed more like a battle, a fight to hold on to something that was slipping away. Then came the age of maturity, a stark, painful allegory. This sculpture was perhaps her most personal work, a raw and unfiltered expression of her deepest fears and sorrows. It was a piece that laid bare the complexities of her emotions, a testament to her resilience and vulnerability. An older man led away by an aged figure, Rose. The sculpture depicted the inevitable separation, the moment when Rodin would finally choose his longtime companion over Camille. It was a scene that played out not just in her art, but in her life as well, leaving a younger woman, Camille, kneeling, pleading, alone. The image of Camille, left behind and abandoned, was a powerful symbol of her reality. It was a moment frozen in time, capturing the essence of her heartbreak and the depth of her longing. Her pain was no longer hidden, it was laid bare for the world to see, etched into the very fabric of her art. The tears she shed in private were now immortalized in stone, a permanent record of her suffering. It was carved in stone for all to see. Camille's sculptures became a public display of her innermost feelings, a way for her to communicate the complexities of her experience. Through her art, she found a voice, a means to express the inexpressible and to share her story with the world. The final break with Rodin. It was inevitable and utterly devastating. Camille Claudel, once a promising sculptor, found herself adrift in a sea of emotional turmoil. The man she had loved, the mentor she had admired, was now a source of profound pain and betrayal, a severance that tore through her soul. The letters they exchanged, once filled with passion and dreams, now lay in tatters, symbolizing the broken fragments of her heart. It left a gaping wound, a wound that festered with each passing day as memories of their time together haunted her every waking moment, one that would never truly heal. The desolation she felt was mirrored in her art, each piece a testament to her unending sorrow. Her love turned to ashes and then to rage. She accused him of stealing her ideas, of using his power to sabotage her career, to destroy her. The accusations grew louder, more desperate, as she felt the walls closing in around her. Her anger was a wildfire. It consumed her thoughts, her actions, leaving nothing but destruction in its wake, consuming everything in its path. Was it truth? Was it delusion? The line between reality and paranoia blurred, leaving her trapped in a labyrinth of her own making, or a desperate cry from a broken heart. Her tears, once a release, now felt like chains, binding her to a past she could not escape. Her behavior grew increasingly erratic, unpredictable. Friends and family watched helplessly as she spiraled deeper into her own mind. She retreated further into solitude. The world outside became a distant memory. Her studio, the only sanctuary she knew, her studio became her prison. The place where she once found joy and inspiration now felt like a cage, trapping her with her own thoughts. She started to destroy her own work, her beautiful, precious sculptures smashed to pieces with her own hands. She feared plagiarism. She feared Rodin's influence, even in her absence. The fear was all-consuming, driving her to acts of self-destruction. She feared they would take more from her. The shadows of her past loomed large, casting a dark pall over her once bright future. March 1913, a dark day, a turning point. Her family made the devastating decision. Camille was to be committed to a psychiatric hospital, Ville-Évrard, near Paris. She was taken against her will, no choice, no voice. She was 48 years old. Her life as an artist, her life as a free woman was over. The vibrant, passionate sculptor was now a patient, a number. Her creative voice, so powerful, so unique, was brutally silenced behind asylum walls. The doctors diagnosed her paranoia, delusions of persecution, systematized delirium. Camille Claudel died in October 1943 in the Mont-de-Vergus asylum. She was 78 years old. She died alone, malnourished, almost completely forgotten by the world outside. For decades after her death, her name remained a footnote, a tragic anecdote in the grand narrative of Auguste Rodin's life. She was remembered, if at all, as his talented pupil, his passionate muse, his mad lover, not as Camille Claudel, the sculptor, the artist, the genius. But truth, like art, has a way of enduring slowly, painstakingly. Interest in Camille Claudel and her astonishing work began to surface like a buried treasure unearthed. Art historians, writers. Today, Camille Claudel stands tall, recognized, revered as a major sculptor of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a pivotal figure, a creative force in her own right. She is no longer just Rodin's lover or his tragic muse. Her works grace the collections of prestigious museums around the globe. They are admired, studied, cherished. Her genius, once overshadowed, now shines brightly for all the world to see and to acknowledge. Her life story serves as a powerful and poignant reminder of the immense challenges faced by women artists throughout history, especially in her time, a time of rigid social codes and limited opportunities. It speaks of the consuming fire